but in order to free the mind of all conditioning. If we react to any sensation, we increase our suffering. If we remain balanced, we allow some of the conditioning to pass away, and the sensation becomes a means to liberate us from suffering. By observing unpleasant sensations without reacting, we eradicate aversion. By observing pleasant sensations without reacting, we eradicate craving. By observing neutral sensations without reacting, we eradicate ignorance. Therefore, no sensation, no experience is intrinsically good or bad. It is good if one remains balanced. It is bad if one loses equanimity. With this understanding, we use every sensation as a tool to eradicate conditioning. This is the stage known as Sankhara Upekkha, equanimity toward all conditioning, which leads step by step to the ultimate truth of liberation, Nibbana.
The Art of Living by William Hart is continued on Disc 4.
Liberation is possible. One can attain freedom from all conditioning, all suffering. The Buddha explained. There is a sphere of experience that is beyond the entire field of matter, the entire field of mind, that is neither this world nor another world, nor both, neither moon nor sun. This I call neither arising nor passing away nor abiding, neither dying nor rebirth. It is without support, without development, without foundation. This is the end of suffering. He also said, there is an unborn, unbecome, uncreated, unconditioned. Were there not an unborn, unbecome, uncreated, unconditioned, no release would be known from the born, the become, the created, the conditioned. But since there is an unborn, unbecome, uncreated, unconditioned, therefore a release is known from the born, the become, the created, the conditioned. Nibbana is not just a state one goes to after death. It is something to be experienced within oneself here and now. It is described in negative terms, not because it is a negative experience, but because we have no other way in which to describe it. Every language has words to deal with the entire range of physical and mental phenomena, but there are no words or concepts to describe something that is beyond mind and matter. It defies all categories, all distinctions. We can describe it only by saying what it is not. In fact, it is meaningless to try to describe Nibbana. Any description will only be confusing. Rather than discussing and arguing about it, the important thing is to experience it. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering must be realized for oneself, the Buddha said. When one has experienced Nibbana, only then is it real for him. Then all arguments about it become irrelevant. In order to experience the ultimate truth of liberation, it is necessary first to penetrate beyond apparent reality and to experience the dissolution of body and mind. The further one penetrates beyond apparent reality, the more one desists from craving and aversion, from attachments, and the nearer one approaches to ultimate truth. Working step by step, one naturally reaches a stage where the next step is the experience of Nibbana. There is no point in yearning for it, no reason to doubt that it will come. It must come to all who practice Dhamma correctly. When it will come, no one can say. This depends partly on the accumulation of conditioning within each person, partly on the amount of effort one expends to eradicate it. All one can do, all one need do to attain the goal, is to continue observing each sensation without reacting. We cannot determine when we shall experience the ultimate truth of Nibbana, but we can ensure that we keep progressing toward it. We can control the present state of mind. By maintaining equanimity, no matter what occurs outside or within us, we achieve liberation in this moment. One who had attained the ultimate goal said, "Extinction of craving, extinction of aversion, extinction of ignorance, this is called Nibbana." To the extent that the mind is freed of these, one experiences liberation. Every moment in which we practice vipassana properly, we can experience this liberation. After all, Dhamma by definition must give results here and now, not only in the future. We must experience its benefits at every step along the way, and every step must lead directly to the goal. The mind that at this moment is free from conditioning is a mind at peace. Each such moment brings us closer to total liberation. We cannot strive to develop Nibbana, since Nibbana does not develop, it simply is. But we can strive to develop the quality that will lead us to Nibbana, the quality of equanimity. Every moment that we observe reality without reacting, we penetrate toward ultimate truth. The highest quality of the mind is equanimity, based on full awareness of reality. Once the Buddha was asked to explain real happiness. He enumerated various wholesome actions which are productive of happiness, which are real blessings. All these blessings fall into two categories: performing actions that contribute to the welfare of others by fulfilling responsibilities to family and society, and performing actions that cleanse the mind. One's own good is inextricable from the good of others. And at last he said, "When faced with all the ups and downs of life, still the mind remains unshaken, not lamenting, not generating defilements, always feeling secure. This is the greatest happiness." No matter what arises, whether within the microcosm of one's own mind and body, or in the world outside, one is able to face it, not with tension, with barely suppressed craving and aversion, but with complete ease, with a smile that comes from the depths of the mind. In every situation, pleasant or unpleasant, wanted or unwanted, one has no anxiety. One feels totally secure in the understanding of impermanence. This is the greatest blessing. Knowing that you are your own master, that nothing can overpower you, that you can accept smilingly whatever life has to offer, this is perfect balance of the mind. This is true liberation. This is what can be attained here and now through the practice of vipassana meditation. This real equanimity is not merely negative or passive aloofness. It is not the blind acquiescence or apathy of one who seeks escape from the problems of life, who tries to hide his head in the sand. Rather, true mental balance is based on full awareness of problems, awareness of all levels of reality. The absence of craving or aversion does not imply an attitude of callous indifference, in which one enjoys one's own liberation but gives no thought to the suffering of others. On the contrary, real equanimity is properly called holy indifference. It is a dynamic quality, an expression of purity of mind. When freed of the habit of blind reaction, the mind for the first time can take positive action, which is creative, productive, and beneficial for oneself and for all others. Along with equanimity will arise the other qualities of a pure mind: goodwill, love that seeks the benefit of others without expecting anything in return, compassion for others in their failings and sufferings, sympathetic joy in their success and good fortune. These four qualities are the inevitable outcome of the practice of vipassana. Previously, one always tried to keep whatever was good for oneself and pass on anything unwanted to others. Now one understands that one's own happiness cannot be achieved at the expense of others, that giving happiness to others brings happiness to oneself. Therefore one seeks to share whatever good one has with others. Having emerged from suffering and experienced the peace of liberation, one realizes that this is the greatest good. Thus one wishes that others may also experience this good and find the way out of their suffering. This is the logical conclusion of vipassana meditation, metta bhavana, the development of goodwill toward others. Previously, one may have paid lip service to such sentiments, but deep within the mind, the old process of craving and aversion continued. Now, to some extent, the process of reaction has stopped, the old habit of egoism is gone, and goodwill naturally flows from the depths of the mind. With the entire force of a pure mind behind it, this goodwill can be very powerful in creating a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere for the benefit of all. There are those who imagine that always remaining balanced means that one can no longer enjoy life in all its variety, as if a painter had a palette full of colors and chose to use nothing but gray, or as if one had a piano and chose to play nothing but middle C. This is a wrong understanding of equanimity. The fact is that the piano is out of tune, and we do not know how to play it. Simply pounding the keys in the name of self-expression will only create discord. But if we learn how to tune the instrument and to play it properly, then we can make music. From the lowest to the highest note, we use the full range of the keyboard, and every note that we play creates nothing but harmony, beauty. The Buddha said that in cleansing the mind and attaining wisdom brought to full perfection, one experiences joy, bliss, tranquility, awareness, full understanding, real happiness. With a balanced mind, we can enjoy life more. When a pleasant situation occurs, we can savor it completely, having full and undistracted awareness of the present moment. But when the experience passes, we do not become distressed. We continue to smile, understanding that it was bound to change. Equally, when an unpleasant situation occurs, we do not become upset. Instead, we understand it, and by doing so, perhaps we find a way to alter it. If that is not within our power, then we still remain peaceful, knowing full well that this experience is impermanent, bound to pass away. In this way, by keeping the mind free of tension, we can have a more enjoyable and productive life. There is a story that in Burma people used to criticize the students of Seaji U Ba Khin, saying that they lacked the serious demeanor proper to those who practice vipassana meditation. During a course, the critics admitted, they worked seriously as they should, but afterwards they always appeared happy and smiling. When the criticism came to the ears of Webu Sayadaw, one of the most highly respected monks in the country, he replied, "They smile because they can smile." Theirs was a smile not of attachment or ignorance, but of Dhamma. Someone who has cleansed the mind will not